Beetroot, nature's powerhouse. Packed with vitamins, antioxidants and nitrates, it's known to support heart health, boost stamina and improve blood circulation. Our beetroot is naturally grown and harvested at peak ripeness. The roots are cleaned, dried and finely ground to preserve their rich nutritional content, giving you all the benefits in one pure form. Add 1 teaspoon of beetroot powder to your juice, smoothie or water, or take it in capsule form as recommended by your healthcare provider. Beetroot helps enhance endurance, lower blood pressure, and keep you feeling energized and balanced all day. Fuel your body with the natural power of beetroot. Stay strong, stay healthy. Go get this product at blackhotfirenetwork.com at the Sports and Nutrition Store.
And salutations, everyone. Here is Andrew Robinson, your Jamaican brother, all the way in Switzerland. And I'm reaching out for brothers and sisters on the continent. You're tuning in too.
When I get that itch, adrenaline, it's only you that I wanna run to. But I make it commit, in a world. I know my baby will come through. You're the only one that I want. Never met none like you before. Don't waste no time, nipple love. Come check me out. I think I got a fever. Baby, put your hands on my back like that. Maybe you can go a little bit lower like that. Just a little bit lower like that. Oh, I want that like that. Baby, put your hands on my back like that. Maybe you can go a little bit lower like that. Just a little bit lower like that. Oh, I want that like that. You should know not to better. Well, when Guinness it to end, I'm the one for you. What you want, I'll do. You should know not to better. Well, when Guinness it to end, baby, I'm the one for you. What you want, I'll do. The only one who knows how I like it. Not slow, a little fast with some hyping. Wacha maringo sunajua hi-fi. I love the way you look, boy, so enticing. Kuwa nawe, kucheza nawe, kupenda nawe, nataka niwe nawe. Usiniache, nishikilie, mimi nawe. You should know not to better. Kwa wengine sitoenda. I'm the one for you. What you want, I'll do. You should know not to better. Kwa wengine sitoenda, baby, I'm the one for you. What you want, I'll do. Baby, put your hands on my back like that. Maybe you can go a little bit lower like that. Just a little bit lower like that. Oh, I want that like that. Baby, put your hands on.
Good afternoon, family.
Maybe you can go a little.
Minutes to 2 p.m.
Just a little bit.
You guys are doing amazing today.
Want that
Rising.
like that. Now when you took it, what a bonga.
Bringing us out another episode of the Pan-African Bliss Show. Monday to Friday, this is how we get to do it.
Now when you took it, what a bonga.
You can live with us on YouTube, Rumble, Beach It, the radio. You should know for catching this on Spotify and Spreaker. You guys are enjoying this amazing podcast.
One for you. What you want, I'll do. You should know not to bend. When we're gonna sit to end, baby, I'm the one for you. What you want, I'll do. Baby, put your hands on my back like that. Maybe you can go a little bit
like that. Ooh, just a little bit lower like that. Yeah, that is Styly 254. I hope you guys are doing amazing. Playing right here on the media of the 21st century. This is the Black Hot Network radio station. I hope you guys have had a beautiful week, and of course, hope June is taking you amazing, nice and slow. Hope you're receiving all the peace, health, mental health that you actually require, especially to the men. This being June, it is the mental health awareness when it comes to men, but just not just men, also to women. I believe this should be actually generalized. I hope you're doing amazing mentally. I hope you're doing amazing. You have peace that you actually require, and I hope your week has been super fantastic and you're ready for the weekend as well. And today's conversation, we shall be talking about the great, amazing news coming from the corporation. This is the real collaboration or cooperation now we need to be talking about that is supposed to be making Africa have things that they have for long been told not to have for long, that they have had deals and piece of papers that they could actually scrap and make this possible. Talking about Burkina Faso, Mali, and Russia finally authorizing about making or coming up with a nuclear energy project in these particular countries. This is some great news. Of course, we need to be celebrating. We've been talking about this for some time. We've been talking about how Africa did make deals about them not being able to come up with any nuclear weapons. And for now, it is possible. Russia has been making it possible for so many African countries, to be specific, the Alliance Sahel state. And this is super, super amazing, because they're not just going to be providing this particular project, they're going to be actually giving, that is, of course, they're going to be including research, reactors, and potential power plants, and so much. We shall be discussing on that, of course, what also comes along with this. But on the top of the conversation, also, we have Mali, where we have Assimi Goita, who could soon be president, as we're talking about Mali and Burkina Faso. And that is one among the conversation we shall be having. We want to talk about what is happening in Kenya regarding the demonstration that have been happening this particular week. But not just that, other things are happening. When we talk about Kenya, we have the British soldiers who have been raping women here in Kenya. And of course, do remember we've had the British soldiers being claimed that they're supposed to be training, and they do have a training camp, which actually they have destroyed so much big acres of land. None of them are held accountable because of this, because of using weapons and weapons and chemicals that are not supposed to be in that particular area. So we'll be digging into that, because this is not the first time we're discussing about British soldiers raping women in their colonial countries, especially where they're set up to be training. It's not the first time we have this particular conversation. It has been happening, but nothing ever happens when we talk about justice. We talk about justice, we also want to talk about what is happening in Nigeria. Literally, Keith is right. I never lack talking about Nigeria every single day. Nigeria was my conversation yesterday, and Nigeria is my conversation also today. But Nigerians are marking 26 years of uninterrupted democracy. We shall be discussing on that. What is the view of the majority? And then talking about also what is happening on the governance of these two countries, Kenya and Nigeria, because many say since these two presidents who are currently in power took over, the lives of these particular Africans has actually worsened, not improved. And that's why we have people so much looking into what Burkina Faso is doing. And Africans have the right to get angry, because we've been for so long told lies, cheated on, being blinded as well, given false information, while everything is right here and you're supposed to be actually given the access to it. Use resources very well. That is why we go back to accountability. And last but not least, I shall be coming back with, of course, after sharing some amazing organic supplements you can get on our network. I want to talk about Kenya receiving 3 million BCG vaccines to strengthen child TB protection. Talk about that. But for now, get yourself some brain and focus formula. We love pouring our brain right here so we can focus on the conversations we're having. So ensure you go to the Google Play Store, download the app. Blackout Fire Network is the name. And once you have the application, ensure you go to the BHFN sports page, where you'll get yourself these amazing supplements.
Unlock your full potential with Brain and Focus, a powerful supplement designed to boost mental clarity, enhance memory, and sharpen concentration. Made from a blend of scientifically proven ingredients like ginkgo biloba, omega-3, and essential vitamins, Brain and Focus is crafted to fuel your mind. Our process ensures maximum potency and effectiveness, delivering the perfect balance of brain-boosting nutrients. Take just one capsule daily, as prescribed by your healthcare provider, and feel the difference. Whether it's powering through your workday or staying sharp in life's challenges, Brain and Focus keeps you at the top of your game. Stay sharp, stay focused, and stay ahead with Brain and Focus. Brain and Focus, fuel your mind, achieve more. Go get this product at blackhotfirenetwork.com at the Sports and Nutrition Store.
many more amazing products. Not just that, we have also some CMOS, we have Moringa Pure, we have turmeric, we have, of course, other more amazing beauty supplements as well, apart from the health organic supplements. Of course, all organic, so ensure you check it out. And also, we have an active apparel store. You can get yourself some amazing hoodie, beanies, t-shirts, mugs with our logo, sandals, depends what you want, and handbag for your side chick or your woman, your main woman, depends who you value the most. So ensure you go to the Blackout Fire Network application. That is where you can get all these amazing products that we're actually offering you. And apart from that, you can also donate to us whatever you actually, if you feel literally, of course, educated with these amazing conversations. We do appreciate your token of appreciation, of course, for keeping you guys knowledgeable on what is happening, and not just knowledgeable, but bringing facts to y'all. This is literally one straight factual mainstream media. Not mainstream media, but yes, we are our own mainstream media right here, because this is how mainstream media should be actually operating. Pakaribuni sana. As we get started with today's conversation, like I said, I'll be coming back with what is happening in Kenya. And Kenya is on the spotlight, I think, in every sector. If you talk about economically, if you talk about politically, if you talk about bad governance, corruption, bribing, everything, health sector being also not working and being very poor, which is also a norm in most of the African countries, and which should not be a laughing matter. But Kenya right now is on the spot in many different angles. And currently right now, or the news that actually came into my desk yesterday evening, were to discuss this on the Culture Show, but we were not able to. We had some issues with our connectivity, and we do apologize with that. But we have Kenya, which did receive 3 million BCG vaccines. This is to strengthen the child tuberculation, of course, protection. They're saying that Kenya did receive 3 million consignment of balikas, yeah, that is what it is called. Calment gulure, I can't even read that scientific name, but yes, we know. Just on a lighter note, okay, not to go deeper into this because I am on YouTube, and to ensure we are not violating, of course, the rights of YouTube. If you know, you know. Currently, if you know, you know. We've seen the same. Actually, there was trial vaccines that were brought. That was early in 2023 or late 2024, or early 2023, early 2024, if I'm not wrong. Between the 2 years, we had actually some trial vaccines that came in Kenya that were supposed to be actually helping Kenyans or some Africans, because I'm not sure it went to how many African countries, but this was supposed to be actually helping them in the quick recovery of HIV and AIDS. And of course, I did speak about this, which we say this is a big alarm, big alert, which needs to be focused on and very well discussed on, because white people will come up with different conversations, different narratives, and because we're not really that well educated, we end up buying these narratives, which actually end up working against us. If I am to go deeper, of course, and research, will see so many countries, not just Kenya, of course, the so-called child TB protection. You'll find that there's many various cases that actually, as not help these children, but ensure the children's lives is very bad or in danger. I remember actually early this year, we also talked about how polio vaccines were reportedly or had killed several children, and none of this case was dealt with. So for how long? The question should actually go back to this government, currently perpetual government. For how long are you going to depend on the so-called WHO to help us, fund us with these vaccines, which don't come for free? Let's underline that. We have to pay, and in interest, because this is like a loan we're taking. We're not just paying, but we're paying with interest. And mind you, going back to the factual reality of why these VSCCINEs were brought to them is that they're supposed to help us, but in reality is not what it is happening. So do your own research. I won't speak much more on it. I think as Blackout Fire Network, we have, for the presenters, of course, those who have been talking about this, we have widely talked about this. We've had channels taken down because of these particular conversations. So we're not going to go deeper into that. But I want to actually just go through a few comments. We get to hear what majority of the people's thoughts are, which is very important, because one thing I've come to understand, like I've been saying for the longest time so far right now. If you want to understand the majority of their mindset, how people reason, just go through their comments, especially when it comes to very critical conditions like health, politics, economy. You'll find jokers, which is very norm, but you'll find people who are very well invested in this conversation, but also at the end of the day, their point doesn't make sense. So we have one of the ladies who says, we have one of the ladies who says, my child will not and never be part of any agenda like this. Protect your kids. Nothing in this world is for free. And consequences will show you at a time. In life where you won't trace it back to the vaccine, my child is a vax-free child. And that is the same actually notion of what I believe actually many parents should have this information. But sadly, they don't. Sadly, they don't. I'd say most of the parents actually due to the fake religion. Shout out to Pastor Mackenzie, who killed 600 Kenyans here because of starving them to death, and body organs were found missing. This man partly, I'd say, educated Africans the truth for those who are listening to him, probably across Africa, but in Kenya to be specific, because my stepmom was one of the people who got to work in that about the VACCINEs, how dangerous they are, how school actually the information we're being given is so full of lies. And for some time, she was caught up with the propaganda of not wanting to take her children to school, and also didn't want to take the children to the hospital at all. So I'm not sure if literally the rest of my siblings that follow me, like the little ones, if they have gotten this VACCIN, is because from there she got work and she was like, wow, this is bad. This is why we have this and this and this and this. And I'm not sure if she's been doing it or not, because my dad was so against it. And then we also have another person who's asking, what are they giving in exchange? A very good question we need to start asking. Every time we see the WHO or these other fake organizations coming to Africa, claiming they have funds set aside for this and this, what is it that they're giving in exchange? It's a good question you need to start asking. What is it that you're giving me in exchange for you to be giving me 3 million BCG vaccines to strengthen child TB? What are you offering back in return? Because nothing is for free, like that lady says. Another person says, just to read 2-3 last comments, someone else says, do you mean Kenya awezi jundia hizi madawa? Of course we can't. The question is, Kenya cannot actually make these vaccines. We can't. Most of the African countries, and that's why shout out to Burkina Faso, it has built the biggest first pharmaceutical industry, and which is not just the biggest industry. It's not just the biggest industry, but an industry that actually has gone back to its indigenous ways of healing. Like I shared the video last week, we had the woman saying they're going back and doing research on indigenous herbs. And this is what their pharmacy, or the biggest pharmacy in Africa, what we should have actually had this for the longest time. But it's sad we had a white man come lie to us, how they have the best cure. It is super, super crazy. And the last 2 comments I'm going to read, someone else says, it is crazy, but I won't read any more of those comments. So it is nice to see at least we have some people with, critical thinking, trying to question what is it that the so-called people are giving us these vaccines? What do they want back in return? That is the first question. And then we have a woman who's very big in defense of our child protection and all that, which should be, should have been a very big information that should have been taught a long time ago. But as we get to continue still what is happening in Kenya, we've had demonstration happening this particular week. And this is because of a man who actually was killed, I'd say tortured in the prison. There was an order given because he did post something regarding the top police officers, and he was arrested. And then when he got to the cell, they beat him, they choked him, and literally, I think, hit his head on the. I'm not sure of the information, so I'm gonna give briefly of what I know, okay? Because they have also cautioned you have to be very careful when you're giving on this particular case. So allegedly, of course, he was killed. He didn't die by suicide. Of course, like they had said at first, they had lied. He had died because of suicide, which is very, very, of course, most of us took it like a lie. There's no way anyone is going to kill themselves. Just, I'm going to hit my head on the wall, and that's that's supposed to cause death,
Why
unless
would he?
exactly, why would they? Also a good question. But of course, demonstrations have been happening for this whole week. Since the incident happened, we've been having Kenyans on the street as we speak right now. We have some Kenyans on the streets. We've had businesses destroyed. That is the saddest part of always demonstration. I don't understand why, unless we had paid people who just came to actually destroy this peaceful demonstration, because they were very peaceful. The cry of the people was just justice for Ojwang. That is the name of the young brother. Justice for Ojwang and no more police brutality, because this has been a norm. And shout out to the women who are courageously out there on the street, even unmasking the masked police officer. Because if you are a police officer, why are you masked? Why is your face hidden? If your agenda is not here to kill, why is your face hidden? And those, I love the fact that right now the courage of Kenyans has really risen to another point, that it is just unstoppable. Any small thing, we're hitting the streets. You do this, we're going to the streets. And until you get our message, we don't want any more dictatorship. And Ruto, you must go, whether you like it or not. Right now, they've said that they want to be looking for people streaming, talking about, if you're streaming, talking ill about Kenya, if you post anything, on the social medias, you're gonna be caught. And these are some of the actually.
How you gonna be caught if you're in a democracy? That's my right
Hmm?
to say what I want to say.
These are some of the finance bill agendas actually being passed, where your data is going to be invaded. Anything you post, wherever you are, they're going to come get it. And this is, I believe, I remember, it's not just actually happening in Kenya, it's an agenda globally. Because remember me sharing the video coming from, it was, I think, the UK, also in the US. We've seen them talking about this, where
Yeah,
it is,
yeah.
I think it is mandatory, especially right now, if you're applying for a visa, give your social media handles, submit your social media handles. Also, they're going to be, this is for them to ensure that there's no attacks on, politicians, on the economy, and this is to protect whatever they are protecting. So, yeah, it is an agenda. Now I'm starting to believe, of course, this is a global agenda. But Karibu Sana Keith, how are you doing today?
That's not the sound of good. How you doing? I'm good.
I'm good too. I can't complain. Hope your week has been fantastic and hope you're ready for the weekend. Shout out to you too, Jiba Jaba. Hope you're doing amazing. Hope your week has been nice and easy as well. But let me share details on this as we continue.
Nah, Jimmy Jabber's
A
been doing his
UK
black
soldier
jobs this
has
week.
been accused of raping a fellow
You gotta do what you gotta do. If you don't do a black job, what do you expect? You're gonna end up starving. You're gonna be in these streets of California or somewhere, I don't know, but you don't need to find yourself on that angle.
British woman in Kenya. The UK's Ministry of Defense confirmed this and further indicated that the soldier was already under custody and had been sent back to London following the alleged incident last month near the controversial British Army training unit in Nanyuki.
Oh, I shared the wrong page. I'm sorry. Sorry about that. I'm like, damn, the British have not gotten there yet. But here we have this is the demonstrations and what has been happening. Let me share this real quick.
The arrest Thursday was in connection with the death of Albert Ajwang, a social media blogger in police custody. Protesters took to the streets of Nairobi to demand justice for Ajwang.
And the numbers actually were very big. This is the crazy part. I don't think anyone expected this, not even the police officers, not even probably the president himself, because it started as a joke, people going to the streets demanding justice. They went to the central police station where the guy was held and pronounced dead. And immediately, actually, for the last few days, we've been seeing actually people very much on the streets.
It's not
And
the same Kenya anymore because they think they can just kill. They
yeah,
can kill people now
mhm,
in undemocratic ways for you just making a tweet,
exactly.
which is your lawful right, and then somebody pick you up and murder you. They thought, well, we've always been able to do this,
Mhm.
but not no more.
Yeah, so right now they have even created an official post again, just like they organized last year on June on 25th, marking an anniversary of the official day when we hit the streets. We're going again in memorial of the people who died, of course, and the death of also Albert Ojwang, the young man who people are demonstrating now about, calling out on the corruption, the police brutality, also the bad governance. Because looking at an article I was reading actually earlier today, there was an article indicating how not just Kenya but also Nigeria, because those have been the claimed corrupt leaders from Africa, the top corrupt leaders in Africa. And right now they're talking about how Kenya has worsened off under Ruto's governance. We're talking about 75% report worse economic
But,
situation
but
since
Nigeria's
2022.
even scared of those in Kenya because Nigeria,
Mm-hmm.
they already heard through the ranks
Mm-hmm.
that they're about to stage a coup on Tinubu as, and they've been talking to Burkina Faso people undercover. Some of them, some of the officers, not the high up, but the middle officers have been talking about overthrowing this government for the
They should.
people. So that's
They
what's
should.
going on in Nigeria. They're scared. That's what's about to outlaw TikTok in
That's.
Nigeria. They about to
Mhm.
say no more talking against the government like this because Africa's coming away with all you puppets. Your time is up. The domino effect is already happening. You got Mali, Niger, Burkina Faso already submitted their own national anthem of being one country.
Period.
You got one national anthem for them already. So
Yep.
Ibrahim Traore is going to be the president of the nation.
Period. And
So we're going to go, Joe. We're going.
if Nigeria is to do it, I believe if we have the top general or the top junta who wants to do this, they should actually go with the help of the Alliance Sahel state as a whole. The Alliance Sahel state as a whole, not just with Burkina Faso or Niger or
And,
Mali. The Alliance
and the
Sahel
top general.
are creating a strong military base. So you can't just, you have some weaklings from Nigeria trying to overthrow their own country. You don't have any strong military base. That is the thing we need to start understanding right now with the coups. What are we doing to gain from this? Every African country right now that is trying to overthrow their current puppet, you should learn and understand what is it. You need to have a strategy, because that is why the Alliance Sahel state right now is succeeding, because they had a strategy. You can't just be doing shit because you another big man syndrome. You can't be another family, just like we've seen in Guinea. Having another cousin taking over and then telling you they're giving you democracy. That is nepotism. And I don't support nepotism in business. I never. You need to be having people with strategy. So if you're gonna have actually any coup, let them. We're gonna call it a coup for now, because
It's not coming. It's not coming from the generals. It's coming from the lower the youth in the army. So that's why they're trying to stop it. They gonna overthrow the generals and the ruling elite. So
exactly. So whoever it is, Keith, still again, we need. You remember when you're telling me about how you need to take over Kenya, and you remember the strategy you were explaining very well. What you
yeah, but the funny part is, you see, even Torre is implementing everything I said must be done.
Mhm.
Everything I said, he's doing exactly what I said. Because right now you see him setting up a criminal court. Setting up two prisons for corruption. He's saying anybody found stealing from the government, stealing from the people, that's automatic 20 years in prison. There are no second chances. You will not be here, just a period. Well, that's going to change the culture. But that's the prison. He's doing everything I said. He's changing the curriculum. All that. European education is gone. I told you got to get rid of those goofy wigs when you didn't finish the law and the goofy wigs. So Mark that day 2 years ago. You didn't finish the law. Oh, calm down, Joe. Anyway, and then you gotta get rid of them goofy wigs. You gotta start manufacturing. You gotta get rid of the tribal nonsense. You gotta unite as one African people, which they're doing. And you gotta be fair, and you gotta be honestly speaking to his people like he does. You gotta be honest. Listen, they're gonna try to kill us. We're not poor. Africa's wealth. We're wealthy. You've been lied to.
There must there must be a strategy, because when you look at the history of majority of the countries that have attempted coup, and the reason why they have not been successful is because, again, majority of the Africans still have the big man syndrome. You want to be in a position because
Of
you
course,
want to be the most
shout out,
you
shout out to
forget
Demore. Of
you
course.
forget you forget what you're supposed to be delivering. You're supposed why you picked this position. You forget that people who actually are looking up to you, and depending on you. So it is so sad if you see Nigeria being that much organized but still end up failing, because you can also have a strategy,
I
but
think I think
the
I
white
think it's
men,
spelled
let's
I
be
think it's
very, very
spelled too long.
factual. Let's be very, very factual. White men have been clever for the longest time. We speak
Of
about this,
course.
how wickedly smart they really are, and how they can easily, I mean, look at Burkina Faso, leave alone even the assassination attempts. How many times
They
have we been reading about having the so-called missionaries? They came with clothes, they came to help some people in the village. You're going to see
they
majority of that
they
because
manipulate you, Joe, because the African is trusting and loving. So now the Africans understand you can't trust these people. So
that's
you gotta
all.
get over that first. Go ahead, Joe.
That's what I'm saying. There must be a strategy, or either we're gonna be having actually histories of this year. This country had a coup, but it failed in this particular period. Why? Because you never had a strategy. It's rather best to say this country had a coup, had a leader who tried and was assassinated after he tried this.
Of
You
course.
know, that is way better than nothing. Having another Tinubu's son or wife to come in to tell you what to do. Don't
Juang,
accept that.
who was arrested on accusations of publishing false information about a top police official.
There was no false information. Everything actually right now we haven't even books being released. Everything Kenyans are writing is based on the facts of what is happening on the ground. Just like I'm going back to this article, I've read 75% reports worst economic situation since the year 2022 when Ruto was actually appointed. And the
It
situation
got
is
worse.
bad. Yeah, if you look at the map gap, is super bad. Bad, like it's worse. If you look at the gap of or the square meters of how good it is, it's just something very little to count. Probably 15% good. The rest is bad. And then they're talking about how 53% of households say their life under Ruto is worse than any presidency. And only 21% of Kenyans reported any economic improvement since Ruto took office. They also
See,
add that
listen what Joe be said. There's no way this guy can win a fair election in 2 more years. No way.
yeah. Oh yeah, it's gonna be bad. I went to, when I was going to the grocery market to get some potatoes and onions. I had these women talking about politics, and they were like, "Man, 2027, I'm running away from Nairobi because this is gonna be bad." Like people can see how bad it is because we really, if you're not politically, I think, smart to understand also how this system has been running for the longest time, then you'll be caught up and you'll be found here getting, thinking I'm voting for change. Voting for
Yeah.
what? Unless you're willing to fight, unless you're willing to stand here voting for change, fight until you die. That is
You
where we're
know,
going in 2027. People are going to die. This is going to be a repeat of
of course,
2007
because
election.
it's gonna be repeat. It's gonna be repeat because the youth knows there's no way he would get elected. There's no way in a fair election he would win. So yeah, it's gonna work, but Joby, there's no liberation
And way worse.
without death.
And way worse. It's gonna probably be worse because we're talking about a man who
Because
during
because
his
you
time,
guys are smart. You guys not gonna accept it. You guys not gonna be told. You're not gonna show like other African countries.
I
Kenya's at a
agree.
point, Joby, that Kenya's not gonna be so. Ruto won the fair election. They say, "Are you out of your mind? Are you
Now,
crazy?"
actually, no, can you just try imagine this is a man who killed and snatched lands of innocent people when he was actually nothing in this governance. Okay, he was just a member of parliament, and now he's a president. Tell me how much can he do? And the fact, of course, he's been pardoned by the so-called International Criminal Court, which, of course, is supposed to be giving justice, but has allowed criminals to run countries. Make that make sense.
Because it's fake. Those institutions set up by Europeans to benefit Europeans.
And then we're also talking about opposition leaders on this other end who are fueling tribalism, which also Kenyans are taking as jokes, you know. It's not a joke. The tribalism being fueled on the law, those who are picking it, it's there. We have the Luos, we have the Kikuyus, we have the Kalenjin, and the the gas is being pumped, and the explosion is gonna happen in 2027. Gas is getting full. They're gonna set up the explosion in 2027, and this is the beginning of it, because, like you said, Kenyans are so much in resistance of that. They're saying no, you must go. The mask, because he's been telling Kenyans, you wanted me to go, you're saying one-term president. Why do you want me to go and I still have much time to deliver what I have to deliver? What do you mean? 5 years have not been enough for you?
He's telling you it don't matter what you say. He's saying in your face, it don't matter what you say.
Exactly. And to tell us it is fake, he went ahead and, of course, appointed the IEBC, that is the elections chairperson. Yeah, the elections body chairperson at night. That was during the night. So nobody actually knew this information. We woke up in the morning, we're like, the new IEBC chairperson has been appointed. Yeah.
Rudo's so corrupt, he's playing in your face.
It is crazy.
Later died in a police cell in Nairobi.
I love to add and tell the government that this is not stopping until we get justice, until they listen to us, until they listen to most of the youths who actually are the largest percentage in this country.
That's right.
And until we get
You're not going to change. The youth are the majority in Kenya, you morons. You're not going to be able to put this man back in power without the country erupting in violence. You're not going to be able to do it. You white people, you're not going to be able to put Ruto, your puppet, back in. You better get another puppet and try to fool him. You better be priming another puppet. But Ruto, that's a non-starter.
Yep.
This is not.
Catch me in Zanzibar. You guys. I'm not gonna be here. I'm not voting for nothing. Because there's a time I had an argument with some of my friends in the car, and they were like, there's no way you keep on talking about politics every day and you're telling us you're not gonna vote. I'm like, I'm just a reporter, okay? And the lie you guys have been told and the propaganda is that your vote makes a change. That's why I'm a reporter, to tell you the truth. It's like, nah, you need to go vote. That's why your vote makes a change. I'm not gonna keep on arguing with you. I'm not gonna vote. I'm not gonna be here. I'm not gonna be in the country. I'm gonna be outside somewhere reporting about it.
You'll be down past me at the restaurant chilling at the beach.
This is not getting me here. I still have many years of living. Okay, my time is not yet up. Okay, I love my job. I'm very peaceful at my job, of course, and I don't need to go, running up and down reporting what is happening in Kenya. Hell no, I'm good. I'll be watching through TikTok. TikTok is our big media right now and factual. So no.
Not coming to an end. This is just the beginning of everything. I know they look for me, as they've always done, as they look for Albert, but for motherland or death, we choose both.
Yeah, so you can hear the youths are very ready for that. They're talking about from another land or death. We're choosing. We are here.
Motherland of death.
Mm-hmm. And then just to add on still of course, the bad governance of Kenya and how bad it is under Ruto. They're talking about how 39% rank runaway prices as Kenya's number one crisis under Ruto's government, and how 87% of Kenyans said they have reduced personal spending, including the basic needs, transport, clothing, and entertainment. I'm heavy on that because, bro, I don't remember the last time I went to club because I don't have money to go clubbing. Okay, as much as it's growing. That's
the money. That's the money you get. That's the money you get your brother. That's your part.
I don't have the funds to go clubbing anymore. Like, life is becoming tougher, And that's talking about how
Joe ain't got no money to go and shake ass and twerk, niggas.
No. That's why I say if I go shake the ass, the guy gotta come back with the money instead, because I'm not being for free. Okay, they're saying about only 19% of the respondents in any region reportedly economic improvement, and is none of the 9 regions And in the nine and in none of the 9 regions did this figure exceed 20%. 52% of Kenyans say that the government has failed to control the cost of living, while just 30% approve that it is handling the campaign promises. Which these are people living actually in the Lulu mindset of give him time. Governance was bad, the previous regime. This motherfucker
But that,
was
but that small percentage, overwhelmingly, Kenyans are not happy with him. There's no way he can win an election. Just
exactly.
a legal election this close to election time is already underwater over 50%. Everybody knows you've already lost the election. So that means they're going to try to steal it from him again. He's already lost. These polls that Joe be saying, this close to an election year, which is 2 years, you've already lost, Joe.
Mhm. Exactly. And I hope he loses completely now on the reality of the ground. But speaking about, of course, changes, also we have Nigeria, which is always a part of my conversation every day, like you said. We also have Nigerians
I
right
know it's
here
crazy.
celebrating about independency, but they're also calling out the fake democracy. The fake democracy. They're calling out fake democracy, how it doesn't play a role
Fake,
on protecting the
fake
citizen.
independence
Or
and
yeah,
fake
yeah,
independence and fake democracy.
yeah, calling out the fake, the police brutality, the bad governance as well. Actually, if you look at this, it is like you said. I think the 100 monkey thing is already on because
The
even
hundred, the
Tanzania,
hundred, the hundred, the 100 monkey test, Joe. It's like they make them, they make you have a collect Africans since you're one people.
mm-hmm,
Sorry, the tribe don't matter. That's made up nonsense. Since you're
mm-hmm,
one people, you have a collective consciousness,
mm-hmm,
and they always try to stop your consciousness reaching a certain level because then there's a domino effect in the ether. So once you reach a certain level of Africans reaching a certain conscious level, you can't stop it. That's what's going to happen. It's going to be a domino effect.
mm-hmm.
So that's what they try to desperately fight. That's why they set up these borders, keep you separated, divided, so you don't ever learn from each other. But once you start learning from each other, that 100 monkey test starts, that collective consciousness starts accumulating all happen. Nobody's just waking up throughout the whole continent right now.
Yeah. Yeah, because even in the country we just came from, that is Tanzania, where we had so many people talking about how they like being in love, they don't have time for democracy. They were in the streets. That was on Wednesday. They were on the
And
street calling out Samia Suluhu about corruption and all that, arresting people, arresting activists, and all that. So it is the 100 monkey test for real. So we have Nigeria here. Let's look at it.
26 years of uninterrupted democracy. This is what Nigeria celebrated on Thursday on Democracy Day. But the atmosphere was not joyous in all parts of the country. In major cities like Lagos and Abuja, hundreds of protesters took to the streets to voice their discontent with the country's leadership.
Nigerian citizens are not happy. We are not okay with what they are doing. I'm here to tell the government that we are hungry. Our pots are empty. We cannot afford electricity. We cannot afford transportation. Everything is high.
Mind you, these are things, if you look at currently Burkina Faso, these are things that are really
I always ask the question. I know don't get married. Nigeria was conquered by the British like Kenya. Why is their English so fucked up?
I don't know. I can't tell that because I really have no idea. I really don't know why their English is so messed up. But I'm saying this is the same thing. What they're crying about is what just the neighboring country, Burkina Faso, because they're neighbors to be specific. The neighboring country, Burkina Faso, literally has done. There's free transportation. There's a free electricity. There's free healthcare. There's free education.
Yep.
Everything is free
Hey,
right now.
Joby, he did that in 2.5 years, Joby.
Look at Tinubu. Tinubu is just flying, catching flights, going to get treated in India,
Right.
ensuring his
He built,
white yacht has a
he
bulletproof.
even said we gotta have real hospitals here in Africa. Ain't nobody flying out nowhere. We gotta have real hospitals here.
Exactly. You know, like the other guy, the way he questioned from South Africa, it is sad to see these African leaders, even it just the I don't understand, man. How do people lack critical thinking? This is something that is starting to actually, hit my head because I've been talking about it, but let me tell you, we really have morons for real in this ground, like for real, for real. Look at someone out there talking like, man, are you a grown up or a child? Because even a
That's,
child can
that's
like
because you're smart now, Joe. You know a lot more. You know a lot more than them. So now you're being more abrasive. You used to be kinder back in the day. Now you're more abrasive and you don't have you don't suffer, like you say, you don't suffer fools. You don't
I
have much
agree.
patience for morons no more.
I do agree. I don't have patience for morals and all that. But I had critical thinking, Kate. I had critical
No, you
thinking.
had critical. We never seen you had critical thinking, but you used to give more grace to people that were stupid. You say, well, they gotta learn. And that's like, oh my God, these people.
Not that much, not that much, because that's why I was not able to fit in different circles or groups.
Uh,
I was a critical thinker. You're not gonna make me a moron of working with groups because I'm supposed to benefit. Well, if your benefit, I'm gonna take time before I benefit what I want. Like what? So shout out to Nigerians. The cry on the streets is not enough. We need to put more rage. We need to go to Tinubu's houses.
got to have wage. The
We
price
need
of
to go
freedom, Joby, is death.
to
Don't
exactly. We need to go to
Africans
the
just complaining and crying in the streets. That don't
exactly.
change nothing.
That's what I've been saying, particularly this week. This crying of acting kind and all that. When these people are snatching their lands, that's not how they act.
Right?
Including these members of parliament, the senators, they're talking crazy to you, slapping you, telling you, you know who I am. And then you want to act all kind. Man, I'm grateful. But at the same time, I'm grateful that I don't have that much more of grace like that because let me tell you, people take kindness. People
For
take,
weakness. That's what
yeah,
exactly, Joby.
people take
They'll take advantage of your kindness. That's right.
very careful, man. You gotta toughen up. Like shout out to you guys telling me you need to go a thick skin because try me now. You all better try me.
Yeah, you got one. Yeah, you got one now. Exactly. You
Thick
got.
skin is so good. So good. Like no, I can take anything, any bullet thrown at me. But so many of us cannot. Just like here in Kenya, still reports coming from Kenya. We've had the British soldiers who have been reportedly, of course, raping women in this so-called camping
Wow.
training sites.
Again,
Yep, of course, this has been happening for years. I've been reporting
forever.
when I
Yeah.
can. And then, of course, there's no justice as always. These people are always gonna go back
Of course.
home or nothing
Level
happens.
this because it's disrespect because of the boot lick leaders licking
Mm-hmm.
boots and not saying enough. You're not gonna be able to damn come and abuse and rape my women. But
Mm-hmm.
they're bootleg. That's why all shout out to Ibn Torre. All you lackey name for bootlegs, you call them lackeys. Ibn Torre, all these African lackeys that you put in the office. He being the most honest, you African lackeys. You talking to all you puppets. I love it. Honest, no diplomat talk. All of you lackeys, your day is coming. Damn right.
Mm-hmm. No diplomatic talks for real.
That's right. No
A
diplomat talk.
UK
Get all
soldier has
nice and
been
kind.
accused
You
of
lack-
raping a fellow British woman in Kenya. The UK's Minister of Defense confirmed this and further indicated that the soldier was already under custody and had been sent back to London following the alleged incident last.
Sent back to
Back to
London. But
London. That
it
means
was an
send back to
African.
London.
If it is an African, this is a whole national global emergency. All
Of
this
course.
Negro, and then the white people will be going crazy on every mainstream
Exact,
media or channel
exactly, Joe.
about
Exactly,
the
Joby.
story. Let this Negro be arrested. Let them be, and if
Uh
possible,
huh.
it's crazy because I believe if actually if lynching is lynching, right? If lynching is
Listen,
this still allowed? Is this still allowed in America?
it's not
If
allowed, but they do it. It's illegal. They still do it. They just
right,
lynched. They, yeah, they
exactly.
found. They just lynched the black man a couple of weeks ago.
Damn, it's crazy. So you see, it's illegal, but it's still happening. Now,
Of
this is
course.
crazy. Oh my god, you gotta. White people are really psychopaths for real.
Evil.
Like,
I
really
got,
for
I got,
real.
I got to that video on TikTok. Like I said, let's stop calling it racism, family. Let's call them what they are. These crackers are evil. They're evil no matter where they go. They're evil. Now, from Africa to Australia, they're evil. Let's call it, and that, we're not saying every last one, but the majority, they're evil. Let's call them what they are. And he thought of a joke. He said, how do you just grab an innocent person out the street and lynch them and then burn their body up and then eat them? They're evil.
It's psychopathic, because if this was it's crazy, because most of the, of course, wars again in America, or most of the wars literally have been led whereby a white woman was going to come lie about a black man raping them, because the black man didn't want them, probably, or didn't show any interest.
Any interest. Exactly.
Now we have the reality of them raping our women, and that is not a problem. That is supposed to be okay, yeah? You're going swinging your white stick everywhere, that's supposed to be okay. That's supposed to be all right.
That's why we had so many mulattoes. There's so many mulattoes in slavery and after slavery, because they were raping black women.
This should not just be abuse of rights. This is beyond abuse of rights, because you raping me, number one, you're not even a human being. Realistically, scientifically speaking, you are an animal. You have no right, and this is beyond violations of human rights.
Not about right, about power. I have power over your ass. Power. That's why your leaders don't do shit. That's why you should know. That's why you should know you're not free and you're still colonized. Because I can rape you and don't shit happen to me.
If we really had real power, again, like I'm saying, under my leadership, this is violations beyond violations of human rights. Because number one, you ain't we're talking scientifically speaking, facts. You ain't a human being, okay? So you're spreading diseases and dirty semen and fluids to a human being. Okay.
Shout out to the lady on TikTok. I think the Asian lady told the truth too. The Europeans are the beginning of STDs. Yes. All the Africans believe they created AIDS and STDs. STDs came from Europeans. They brought it in everywhere they went. There were no STDs on the planet, guys. They brought it to everywhere they went. And then it spread throughout the community when they raped whatever women they were with. Then that's how you got STDs now running throughout Africa and Australia, and everywhere. Came from them. That's where it came from.
And because
you have any STDs? Yeah.
Yeah. Because they're that. Because they won't wash their poop. They won't use bathing clothes.
That's right.
Man?
That's right.
It's crazy to be laying with a white.
That's right. And that's why I'm your Jesus. Shout out to Iraton. Hallelujah.
It's crazy. But shout out to Jabba for doing amazing. He says, have protesters touched the wealthiest areas of Nairobi, like all white districts? Not really. Sadly, actually, if you look at the businesses that have been vandalized, it's businesses that
You gotta hit the white areas, and you gotta hit the rich areas. Exactly right.
That's the problem again. One thing I've been trying to make you guys understand, when it comes to actually protests, we have, of course, people with agenda, strategy and plan on how we're gonna move to this. Like we've been having demonstration recently, we've understood having rioted demonstration leads us to nowhere but just killing. If we have a peaceful demonstration where we're just demonstrating our rights, why should we be killed? So if actually now everything turns violent, it's because we were peaceful. You started the kills as police officers. But on this other end, when the kills start, because the normal thing is, even if I'm practicing my rights, my democratic rights peacefully, I'm still gonna be attacked. This has been happening even globally. It is in their law. It is in the system. If you try to practice what is called order, no, call that actually, that is criminality, or call it whatever terms they come up with. So in between this, that is what they get to pay these idle people who actually don't even give a shit about politics, okay? Always somewhere in the somewhere. All they're thinking about is how they can get the 50 shillings, half a dollar, go buy some weed, some moonshine. That's what they're thinking about. So now you come to me, I'm thinking about half a dollar. You come to me with you can give me $30. $30, and it's a weekend. To go do what? I'm gonna do the job. $30 against weapons, 10 of you. I'm gonna give you, $100. You split all of you, or whatever amount you can. Go to the street of town. Don't worry. We have a car that is going to take you and take you back. These people are it's the same thing we've been seeing with the terrorist attacks. They are funded weapons, they have the cars and everything. These goons who are just they smoke their bangs, of course, get very high and then gas themselves up. Now they're the mans of the street. And of course, the police are informed. There are young men coming from this route in this particular section. Don't shoot.
Let them through.
Yeah, those are coming to help you. Those are the same people vandalizing businesses now to make us, the peaceful demonstrators, look bad.
Look bad. That's true. That's how they do it. That's true, Joe.
It is not like we have a group of people who are always moving with the same agenda. We have,
and they do, and what Joby said, they do that everywhere. Remember when we had the riots in 2020? You had they're called agent provocateurs, Joe. So they have people tearing up shit that are not part of the damn protest, but so you'll get blamed for them burning up shit, tearing up shit. Look at these people out there breaking down windows and burning up businesses.
Exactly. I believe that what is currently happening, of course, with the LA demonstration as well, because we'll be talking and extending on that tonight. We've seen, I think, some, not sure which department of police or security is talking about now killing. They're saying if they find you vandalizing businesses or doing what, they're killing you. That's the order now given. So shout to Trump.
I don't know if that was Trump too, but I know in Florida, instead of like California, Florida is told we're not California. If I find you Mexicans on the street, burn up in the cars, you're gonna be shot in the head. They say if you stop a car, you're gonna be ran over. If you blah blah blah, you're gonna if you hit a police, you're gonna go to the hospital. He said. So Florida's told you we're not California. So you can talk that crazy shit. We got a lot of illegal aliens in Florida too. That you get out in the street in Florida. This ain't California. So I'm like, damn.
That's so sad. Yeah, we'll be talking about that and more tonight. I see Jibajab also says the white district where Africans have to live at sundowns. It's crazy. We don't have sundowns in
Kenya. Not in Kenya.
They wouldn't even try. I don't think they would even try that here. I think Kenyans should just have some type of really, I don't know. There's just something about our people. It's just, you can't. We just can't.
Not in Kenya. I don't think they did it during colonial times, though, in Kenya, but not now. And the Kenyans never allow it now, but colonial times, you did find white-only areas in Kenya. Not no more.
Because
they got in South Africa now. You never find white-only.
People here are crazy. If they're going to Uganda, which is just a neighboring country, to vote, now you want to tell me in their own country, you want to tell them not to come? Are you crazy? If they managed to go to the parliament and ate all the food of the senators, the MPs, and all, you can't come to your ground to fetch water? Are you crazy? Like what? I don't think that would. It wouldn't have happened here. I believe it would have been impossible. And the fact that we had a really strong, I feel like it originates or come from also having a strong group of freedom fighters, the Mau Mau. I don't know. From that, that should have been a good
that changed everything. But there were white-only areas, though, before the Mau Mau. That's why the Mau Mau started fighting. Because in Kenya, there were white-only areas where they said black people couldn't come. That's how they set up everywhere they go. They do that.
Before the Mau Mau.
Before the Mau Mau. That's why the Mau Mau started fighting. So we got to get our land. This is our land. What are you talking about? We can't go here. We can't do this. We can't do that. This is our country.
It makes sense because those people, that should have been a good example of telling you we're not to joke with. Go try it in South Africa, in a rainy. Something like that. But as we get to move on, also see Juba Jaba says pardon that approves is their boy, and also see says I'll create an incident, declare martial law, and suspend elections. That's what they do. And then Jib also says, remember, there are no blonde wigs in heaven. You've come a long way. I know. That was just a thought I used to have. It was not like a realistic setup of mindset I had. I was just trying to create imaginations of how would it be when I go to heaven and all that, I'm like, okay, so since we don't have long hair here, so we're gonna have long hair,
This how bad the educational system is. That the original woman is saying she's gonna become some other lesser woman when she died. That's how
my God, man, but I know better right now, of course. It's what we're not taught. And then looking at also a system of schools, like the way they've been set up, it's to make you feel inferior. And inferior comes from, especially when you shave your hair, you don't even feel like, you just look like a dude, bro. It's like a dude
exactly.
walking.
You told that, and that's from colonial times because they hated our hair. So you shave it. So even to Ray got rid of that too. You wear your hair as long as you want to wear.
When you see white people come to your school, they're doing their hair like this. You're like, all you have is just a bald head with no hair. Okay, I can get that hair in heaven too. Like, it's a matter of time. This is up. Like,
I can get my monkey fur in heaven too.
Yeah, because I really hated shaving my hair. That was one of the things I really hated so bad, like super bad. The fact I had to be transferred to
because it's wrong. Because it's wrong.
I'm like, man, mom,
because it's a whole system of oppression to teach you subconsciously self-hate. It's to teach you. It's to perpetuate a hatred of yourself inside yourself from yourself. It's wickedly brilliant. It's wicked. How you keep controls, how you keep domination over people. It's wicked.
Exactly. But as we move on to the last conversation of the day is about Russia, Mali, and Burkina Faso, which have finally authorized a nuclear energy deal. And they're saying Russia has officially approved a new nuclear energy deal with two of its key West African.
Imagine that. It should have been. Imagine. Africa's got the place where all the nuclear materials from. But Africa is the one that doesn't have nuclear power.
Imagine.
All the materials come out of Africa, your uranium, your platinum, all that shit to make a nuclear bomb and to make nuclear energy, but the Africans don't have it.
Nope.
Crazy.
They're saying under this agreement, Russia states nuclear agency Rosatom will help both countries develop nuclear infrastructures, including research, reactors, and potential power plants. And the goal is to boost the local energy production and strengthen the scientific cooperation and reduce energy insecurity.
No energy insecurity. Make sure manufacturing giant. Now you can take the stuff that's in the ground, don't ship it to Europe, and now you can actually manufacture. But now you got cheap, clean energy that will not be going off every other day. Power outages, that's gone. So people have now lights. They can now develop their countries and develop their nations.
Exactly. And that is some great, amazing news, of course, to see, because that is the kind of things I remember us questioning at the beginning, what is the interest of Russia and how is the Alliance Sahel states looking forward to how they're going to benefit from Russia. So you can see, of course, the answers are being provided little by little, bringing, of course,
They say technology. They say technology exchange. So I'm learning. So see, Burkina Faso doesn't have Chinese people building nothing in their country. They're not building the road. Those are all African people building the roads, building the hospitals, building everything. So it means they're learning how to do it, and they're creating an economy. You don't bring people in to build your shit and then pay them. That don't make any sense.
In the next coming probably 10 years, Burkina Faso will have the brightest Africans.
More than that. Go to TikTok. Go to TikTok and look and say the new city Ibrahim Traore is planning to build. He wants it built in 2 years. That should look better than Dubai. Like, hell yeah, like, we're going to be in Burkina Faso, Joe, be partying. Yeah, party over here.
That's what's up. But as we come to the end, we also have, of course, still in Mali, where, of course, the current president, Assimi Goïta, has been president for the transitional government since 28th May 2021, but now he's likely to continue in this role until at least 2030. Because remember, the people of Mali did request him to become president. The same actually went to Niger and Burkina Faso as well. And this is without ever having been elected by the Malian population.
It doesn't make a difference because they merged into a new nation, so he won't be president. Then anyway.
Yeah, they're saying having come to power following the two military takeover in 2020 and 2021, Goïta received political backing from the key allies last month to remain in power potentially indefinitely. And on Wednesday, the Malian Council of Ministers approved a law that will see his mandate extended until at least 2030 to make it renewable. So there's some good news, of course, coming from the West Africa and the amazing news, the deeds they are doing. So as we come to the end of today's conversation, going through the last comment.
Just for a minute, Kevin. I can say, new city being planned in Burkina Faso. And also, all they're doing is rebuilding the Mali Empire. Remember, the Mali Empire was bigger than the United States of America. So they're the same people. So them borders are fixed. So imagine you get Burkina Faso, Mali, and now Niger. That was just one area of the Mali Kingdom. All the countries that were in the Mali Kingdom were Chad, Burkina Faso, Mali, Niger, Senegal, Guinea, northern part of Nigeria. I think the northern part of
Burkina Faso is going to look like. It's absolutely incredible. Captain Ibrahim Traore. Hey, look at what he's preparing for us. Wow! Take a good look at this city laid out on the table. Yes, you're truly seeing what Burkina Faso will look like in just a few months. Oh! It's very important that you stay informed. So in this video, we'll explain everything. In reality, Captain Ibrahim Traore has decided to launch a massive campaign for economic and strategic development in his country. But this time, it's moving very, very fast and in spectacular fashion. Hey! He has called on the nation's top engineers and most skilled minds to design a futuristic city. And just look at what it's going to become. Never seen before. At first glance, you might think you're looking at Dubai, but in fact, this is Burkina Faso. Several $1 billion will be invested to bring this gigantic project to life. But here's the question. Where is Captain Ibrahim Traore getting all this funding? To that question, Captain Ibrahim Traore has an answer. Who? Remember this well. Burkina Faso's gold reserves are 7 times greater than those of the United States. I'll say no more. So, what do you think about this futuristic city he's
building? That's amazing.
Now do this too, Joby. I want you to stay with them TikTok. Say Burkina Faso men digging in the gold mine. Yeah, they taking all the gold out. It's amazing.
Yeah, they have the order. I saw the video. They are in order. They have. They're just in order. That's amazing.
Yeah, they're in order. They're all the way down the thing, just taking the gold out the damn side of that mountain, side of that sand. But look at that. They just orderly taking the gold and going up and up and up and putting it in the damn trucks and not giving it to no Europeans. That's why we're going to build cities and hospitals and roads.
Have you guys seen this? This guy has viral videos of Burkina.
That's it. There you go. In the gold mine, baby. Africa's never been poor. This was supposed to happen in Kenya, but they want their moonshine.
Exactly, order. And this is why we always have actually mine collapse, because there's lack of order. So it's just digging the hole. There's no. Where is the soil going? The soil is just piling up in one place. Then one moment it's raining, the whole soil falls on you all. You know, you can't breathe. Now South Africans are calling. Oh, come on now, it's crazy, man. This is order. This is what we're calling strategy.
And from the video, they're very organized. Each person's passing the resource up a step.
And that's billions of dollars now that they keep it.
Mm-hmm. It's amazing.
You can see that it's gold. And they even have a barrier so that the truck won't roll back into the mine. Some people were saying, hey, They built the pyramids after all. But other people, they're saying, no, they're modern day slaves.
Or is this
That's
guy talking?
that's white people talking. That's white people talking about modern day slaves. Oh, they modern day slaves because they won't get their gold. They won't get
As
their
we
gold.
wind up, I see Jibazaba says, and she would be all over media crying crocodile tears. And I also see you saying, yes, don't be the only one in a group of them, especially if alcohol is being consumed. I know. And then you also says Jibazaba says comes from mailing animals. And he also says the rocks throwers and assonites are paid alligators. If agitators, yeah, agitators.
Agitators. Yeah, the agitators that come and
Yes.
throw rocks, throw bricks.
Mm-hmm.
They the
And
agitators.
SSA Soros affiliates are paying $6,500 to $12,500 per weekend adverts on Craigslist.
Craigslist.
And then he also says, well, that's good to know. No sundown towns, of course, no sundown town. We'll be speaking about it. Like it's something we would have known from a very long time ago if there were sundown towns from us. And
Kenya. Exactly.
Russia is playing a long game to bankrupt the EU and Britain by making moves in Africa. And yes, you also
Yeah, that's exactly what they're doing, Jimmy. Yeah, because they know Africa funds Europe. Without Africa, Europe is impoverished. Exactly right. They're playing the long game by trying to help the African free itself of the European because that's going to bankrupt Europe. Exactly. Because, like I said, Russia doesn't need African resources. They have this, but they know that the Europeans don't, and they get their resources from Africa. So if they free Africa from Europe, Europe goes bankrupt. So now they don't have to worry about Europe keep trying to invade them and doing all kind of wars against them. Exactly right. That's what you do.
yeah, but this is where we're coming to the end of today's conversation. Family, thank you so much
Also,
for
also
tuning in.
tonight, guys, we got to talk about Iran, Israel invading Iran, dropping bombs on Iran. They're trying to
Yeah,
start the war, trying to start this war, trying to get America involved in it. They control America, but baby, we're not getting none of my kids to go there. My kids are old.
yeah,
So,
I've seen
uh,
Russia launch a new wave of attack as Trump issues chilling warning to Iran. That is the statement that they'd given. Trump issues
yeah,
chilling warning.
yeah, Trump can't issue no warning no way. Iran had enough time, not stupid, to make weapons. You don't trust these people. And that shout to even control. You gotta learn, like Joey said, you don't trust, but they all don't. They never want you to build weapons, while they always building weapons to come destroy you and steal your resources. That's the game they've been playing. But Iran ain't. Everybody say, "Oh, we don't want Iran to make a nuclear bomb." Why not? You got one. Who says you get to get one in? You the one been using them on people. You the one been invading people. Iran hasn't invaded nobody's country. That's been you. So Iran's been secretly the last 30 years creating good weapons. That's right. You create those weapons because you already know the European being a psychopath is coming to see you and coming to steal what you got.
Yep.
That's their that's the whole economic model. Steal because they don't got nothing. Steal that. Then when they steal it, oh, we all need to be peaceful. But as soon as after they steal your shit, there's always some peaceful nonsense. No, I don't know why you're not being peaceful. What? Let's not be violent.
We're democratic and all that. It's
Yeah,
crazy.
yeah, yeah, exactly. Then you get to pick. Oh, let's use the democratic process.
We
Let's
will
stop this.
extend the conversation tonight on the Africa Today episode.
Much love, guys.
Don't miss out if you are on Rumble Beach It. If you're on the radio, not able to catch up with this live but listening,
Hey, I'm surprised. Hey, the data's working pretty good.
the internet came back.
Oh,
The internet is back. So much love, family. Have yourselves a
hey,
good
I should use some of that dang money I put on the data thing. Pay some electric tokens, damn it. Yeah.
much love, family. Have a great day. For those who shall
Much
be
love.
catching this Rumble Beach It on Spreaker, Spotify, hope you guys
I,
get to
I
enjoy.
thought
Do let
this
us
working too. I thought this was working too good to be dead. I said, damn, this data working good as hell.
know in case you need to see any changes on our conversations or programs or issue any anything you have on your mind, let us know kindly. But much
Like I
love. Shout out
said,
to you,
family,
Barry.
the WhatsApp chat room, guys, link I left on the app or the website in the show page area. Go to show page, click on that link, and join us in WhatsApp chat where we get to talk seriously and honestly.
Yeah,
Okay?
and if you
There.
don't, that is your
Much
loss.
love.
If you don't, we tell you still that is your loss, okay? We're not gonna keep on singing every day. Come on, you guys. We are grown-ups, not children. You just be reactive. Be reactive. It's just download the app, go to the Google Play,
Joby.
download the app, go to the show page.
African people are reactive, not proactive.
Yeah, like be reactive. Go to the show page, check the link of the WhatsApp. Go to the
you mean be proactive. You mean be proactive, not reactive. Proactive.
You see, even you guys are confusing me with terms now. Bye. Sure, Jerome Mosquito is not here. By the way, I'm not seeing Jerome Mosquito. I think this whole week is doing amazing. But much love, family.
And I'm the one for you. What you want, girl, do. You should know not to bend.
Come back and join Airtime in about 15 minutes.